This week's blogging video is another what I spend on my 7-figure blog, and this time it's a what I'm spending on my 7-figure blog in 2023. So I posted a video like this a few months ago, and I was basically going down like everything that I spend on a monthly, weekly, yearly basis for my website to keep it up and running, the programs, softwares, office space, like literally everything, and it basically went viral. So it was a very popular video, and right now we're in the process of figuring out 2023 and kind of allocating money to different niches of the business and figuring out where we're going to invest money and different things like that. So I figured it was a perfect time to do a 2023 version of this because I think a lot of people are starting to think about next year. So let's get into the video on everything that I spend on my blog. All right, I have my handy dandy iPad that's dead, so I'm charging it. Okay, so just like last video, what I did is I literally went through our documents on like our bank expenses on everything that we spend. So this is legitimately like, of course there's gonna be probably a few offshoots that I missed, but I like really went down and made sure that I was hitting every single thing. So I'm gonna start with kind of like the yearly stuff, the things that we've always paid for, not always paid for. And then as we get further on in this video, I'm gonna go more into like specifically what we're looking to spend in 2023. I do wanna put a major disclaimer out there. I am now making, or this business is now making 7 figures a year. When I started and I was a broke college student who literally did not have money, I was not spending like this. It makes sense now because we can earn the money back, but in the beginning I didn't even have the money to invest. So I'm hoping this is more like motivating and not necessarily like a comparison game, if you know what I'm saying. But I think it is helpful to see, like, I would love if some of my favorite brands would do this. It would be just so helpful and like such an insight into their business. Okay, let's get into it because we have a lot of things to go through. Okay, so the number one, our biggest expenses goes to salaries, which is not an expense, it's an investment. This is something that I heard someone talk about in a podcast. They were like, hiring and salaries is an investment in your business. It is not an expense, which like, okay, yes, it technically is, but I really think that that is true. Like, I would not be able to do what I do without the team. And so even though that's the biggest expense, it's like my favorite expense, and we're trying to grow the team even more. So that is something in 2023 that we're allocating even more. 2022 was a huge year for us. Like 2021 and early 2020, like the first half of 2022 was such a show for us. Like everyone's roles were across the entire, like all of our businesses. And now, so like if you haven't watched or like know about my business at all, I started as a blog, but from that blog, I've started like multiple businesses. So I have an interior design firm, I have a paper business, so like a planner business, and then I have this blogging business. So from that, I've been able to start off many different like offshoots. And for the longest time, we would all be involved in all of those businesses. And it was such a disaster because we were almost giving like we were almost giving something to everything, but nothing to anything because we were so all over the place, if you know what I'm saying. So we did, in the last 6 months, I got a business coach. I got some of my top team members into the same business coach, and we basically restructured everything. And now each employee is on, like, they know exactly what they're in charge of managing in the business. And so from doing that, we've realized that we have some gaps that we have to fill in other places and just different areas we want to grow. So that is something that I want to hire out. I don't want to have a huge team, I've decided. So we'll probably hire like 2 people next year, I would assume. Actually, I feel like 2 is gonna be my goal, hiring 2 people. I just decided that. Okay, the next thing that we pay for on a yearly basis, I have paid for this since day 1 of starting my blog, and if you're starting a blog, you have to pay for this too. That is hosting. So when I first started my blog, I have like a how to start a blog blog post on my website that I'll have linked in the URL, and that goes over like exact step by step on how I started my blog and how to properly set up your blog to make money. It's very strategic. You can't just go like randomly start a blog. Everything blogging is strategic. If you watch my videos, you know that I say that all the time, but it's really true. So when I first started, I started with Bluehost, which I compared to like the Walmart version. It is perfect for starting out. It will get you exactly what you need. It's really cheap and it has really good customer service. So that's what I would recommend for starting out. Now we pay for, or our host is Big Scoots, Big Scouts. I don't really know which one it is. And they're also really good, but they are a lot more expensive. Like we spend thousands of dollars a year on hosting, which again, like we can recoup that money, but in the beginning, that would have been such, I didn't have the money to spend on that. So that's another thing. Active Campaign, which is our email host. Shout out, we have a course on our email strategy. So Active Campaign we pay for. We actually do that on a yearly basis to cut down on the monthly fees. Our Shopify store, so our planner, like paper business, we are transitioning it out. It was under the By Sophia Lee name, and we're actually transitioning it to its own like entity. So it's now called The Daily, D-A-I-L-E-E, get it? Because By Sophia Lee. And so that's on Shopify. So we are paying for Shopify, plus we pay $15 a month for our review app that we use on Shopify. And then we also use TaxJar that we pay for, and it basically, it's cheaper than an accountant, but it will separate like what we owe to every state in sales tax. All right, next we have Asana. That is our project management system and just like our team system in general, just keep us organized. This is where we keep our content calendar. We were on ClickUp and we still have ClickUp, but we're moving everything over to Asana. We like it a lot better. Well, actually I love ClickUp, but Asana we've just learned more, and so I think that's why we like it better. But I highly recommend Asana. Okay, Google Drive storage. I store everything on Google Drive. It's like my lifeline. The entire team uses Google Drive. It's so nice because all of us can access it on different computers and share different things with each other, so we pay for extra storage for that. We pay for Adobe and Canva Premium. At this point, you can do basically everything in Canva Premium, but because we do everything in-house for our planners, and so we design like everything, which because that's more intense, we use Illustrator for that, which is an Adobe program. So we pay for that. Keywords Everywhere, which is an SEO tool that we use. And then Short Pixel, we also, that like smushes our pictures to make our website faster, so we use that. Facebook ads, we've invested some money into that recently, and our daily planner sells super, super fast. This round of planners, because it's January, the college planner is just not selling as fast, which I think we're learning that like that's a really good summer one, maybe not so good of a winter one. So we're trying to test Facebook ads for that. So we're putting money into that. Teachable, where all of our blogging courses are hosted. We have Perfecting Blogging, which goes over my exact SEO strategies. We have Perfecting Pinterest, which goes over my Pinterest strategy and how we get hundreds of thousands of views a month from Pinterest. And then we have Perfecting Email, which is our email course, which I talked about earlier in this video. So we have to host those on something, so we chose to host those on Teachable. We really like it. It works great. We haven't really had many issues with that. QuickBooks, our taxes are insane. Because this is such a new career and business, like the accountants, now they understand it more, but I think in the beginning it was like so confusing. They're like, where is this money coming from? Like, how are you earning this? Like, no one understands how you earn money blogging. And so we had to get our QuickBooks like really, really organized. So because we have multiple different businesses, we have multiple different QuickBooks that we have to pay for. Our accountant costs a hot freaking dollar. Oh my gosh, we pay so much money in accounting. Epidemic Sounds, which is what we use for copy-free music. Deposit Photos, we use for stock images. If we use any stock images on the website, we've kind of gotten away from using stock images. Whenever we use them when we have to use them, but we try to use like all in-house photos from now on, or photos that we get written permission for. Lawyer, we use multiple different lawyers. That is I am not afraid to use a lawyer. I'm not afraid to put money into a lawyer. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And we've had some just like, now that I'm in the construction world and doing that type of stuff, I've had to utilize lawyers a little more, but even for like trademarking, LLCs, different things like that, lawyers come in handy. Rent, we are in the office right now. So I pay for rent for this office, plus then we have a warehouse for the planners that I pay for. Our products, we have to buy all the products. So that is a lot of money, an investment up front that we have to just like make sure we earn the money back, but you still have to buy the products and stuff. So, and we've funded everything through our businesses. So I've never like had an investor or anything. So we just have to make sure that we have enough cash flow to properly support the amount of stock that we want to add in. Planoly, so Planoly, I went through a phase where I was using that a little bit more. Now we don't really use it for by Sophia Lee Instagram, but we are starting the BSL Studios Instagram. And so that is an Instagram that's more like a portfolio. Like honestly, we're not even caring about how many likes we get or how many comments. The BSL Studios Instagram is solely gonna be out there for clients to stalk us on and see all of our different projects. So it's like an online portfolio. So we'll probably use Planoly for that. So we can just plan it and then do it like once a month, get all the pictures together, captions, and then almost just forget about it. Now you can also upload Reels and Instagram stories to Planoly, I believe. So if you do want to go down the planning route of like scheduling Instagram posts, that's like a great one that I highly recommend. Technology, we're always buying new different technology, whether it's computers, printers, cameras, lenses, TVs. I mean, we're a technology-based business, so we are constantly buying technology. Okay, so these are the things that, I mean, I've kind of thrown out random things that I want to do in 2023, but these are the big purchases of 2023. So one with our interior design firm, we're buying another house, so we need to just also make sure that that's cash flows. I restore houses, I film the entire thing, so we hire a production crew, and I'm literally doing that as marketing. It's like a marketing stunt essentially to show people what we can do. So like I'm investing in the business to then get clients, which we did that with the house this past year, and that's where all of my clients have come from. So it is working, but it takes a lot of money to do that. Again, we earn the money back, but like still, it's a lot of upfront costs. Website designers. So we hired a website designer for the daily website. I'm gonna get back to you on how we feel about that one. I'm gonna leave it at that, okay? And then we hired a designer for this was an expense this year. We hired a designer for our BSL Studios website. Go stalk it. It is so freaking good, like so good. And then by Sophia Lee's website is so needed of love. I think we're gonna start getting on like a 2.5 year, 3 year website redo rotation. So now it's been almost 3 years of us having the By Sophia Lee website. Before I had a theme from 17th Avenue. Then I had a website designer who did a great job. But now it's 3 years later, things change so fast in 3 years. And so it's just time for an update. I gotta get rid of that cursive. I'm like so over that cursive. So we are hiring a website designer to redo our By Sophia Lee website, which for our, we had a Show It website for our BSL Studios business. I love Show It, but that's a very different type of business. Like the Show It website is like a portfolio. It's for our interior design firm. So again, like the sole purpose of BSL Studios website is for clients to hire us off of. And so we can have a Show It website for that. So we hired Lauren from, oh my gosh, what's her business? Lauren Creative. I think that's her business name. Incredible. If you have that type of website where you can where you're not writing blog posts and where you're doing, I don't know. I honestly kind of want to move By Sophia Lee over there, but I'm terrified to do it because it's it is still WordPress, but I don't know. I'm scared that Google's gonna get mad at me or something. So I think we are gonna stick with like a more traditional WordPress theme route for by Sophia Lee, but Show It is incredible. And Lauren Creative if you have the money to invest and you're like a little further along in your blogging career, Lauren is amazing for doing website design. So that's gonna be a big expense because website designers are not cheap. Then courses. So it's so interesting because when I started my blog, I was taking so many blogging courses, and you know that I swear by taking courses. And so now I'm starting the interior design business. And so I'm back to the course phase. So I'm investing some money into taking interior design courses. I'm in a course right now for rendering. So in college, I majored in interior architecture. And so they taught me like how to do digital renderings for that. But I just need to like freshen up a little bit on it. So I'm taking a course on rendering right now. I'm taking the course on the interior design ones more like on business practices from a really, really well-known interior designer. AutoCAD, like I'm full on into the courses, and it's really reminding me on how powerful and how helpful they can be. And then we are investing a lot of money on dividing out the daily from the by Sophia Lee name. Like they're sister companies, but not the same company. So it's gonna be known as like the Daily is the Planner brand. So we're doing that for a few ways. One, like by Sophia Lee's going more, like my dream was never to start a paper business, but it just came to be from the content on the website, and it is doing so well. It's such a good product, and I like so strongly believe that it is gonna be a huge business. And so we're basically just dividing it out so that by Sophia Lee can grow how it needs to grow, and then the Daily can grow how it needs to grow. And so like that's just taking a lot of investment from figuring out like 3PLs, which is distribution centers and warehouses and employees and websites and packaging and so many different things for that. So that is all of the expenses. I hope that was helpful. Like I said, like I wish brands did this because I could learn so much from what people are spending money on. Like it's just such a tall tale sign into their business on like what's important to them and what their direction they're going and what they like, I don't know. I just think it's super interesting. So I hope you enjoyed that. And as we're gearing up for 2023, I'm so excited to see what happens this next year. I'm like such a goal setter, so it's just a really fun time for me and the team. But I hope you have a great week. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post a YouTube video every week, every other week. And definitely subscribe to our email list. I put out an email every single week to the blogging. That's like my most dedicated email list. So definitely recommend signing up for that. And then obviously look at the courses. Okay, goodbye.